having an issue with these two conditions here. But the information we're getting into the things here is correct, so those work. Now it's need to figure out the condition here. Apparently it's not working. So means it's time for some debugging. JS plugins, line 778. Well, 1770. Alright. So, there's our condition. Well, that's interesting. Alright, there we go. So it's our watch expression, and we're actually just going to do this. It's 31. And watch this be like a string or something stupid like that. I could just imagine that happening. Because it happened once before, so that's how I know it might happen now. And, yep, that's what it is. Trying to compare a string to a int will never work. So parse int. Alright. Now we should get something. Well, let's go ahead and check this stuff out again. It's still listing as int. Or, sure, well, obviously it's a string. Okay, so it's just the color we chose is a darker shade of red. Okay. Let's try. Let's see. Actually, we're the portrait. So we want like some sort of green color. breaks out. Take those breaks out. Well, we have blue, but it's not red, which is good. 00 CC00. Let's try the full hexed code this time and see if it actually works or not. Okay. Yep, there we go. So now, let's do the ultimate test here. We want to test if they're working properly. So, Novice 30, we'll modify this to be 10. So it should show up as green and then red for the second one. Perfect. Yes, it works. Alright. So our novice is level 20, or it's over level 20, so it meets that requirement, it's level 31. And our warrior level is 11, so it doesn't meet the 15, so it's below. So now what I want to do is this, and then control cell switch B. And copy paste. Switch B. And then we'll just add another 10 to warrior, our warrior class. Or wait, get rid of the change to warrior because we don't need to do that now. Alright, on that one. So, again, let's just thoroughly check it. Make sure it's working under all conditions. At least the ones that we know it should work under, and not the ones that we know it won't work under. So Novice 31. So if I go check this now. Interesting. So if it's not there, that's another thing we do. Okay, so Novice, yeah, so if the requirement's not there, then we need to display that as anyway, so yeah, we need to do that other condition there. Okay, so now we have our warrior level. Okay. Now our warrior 21 should be green. Perfect. Alright, so we do have that one thing to figure out. So that is if a condition does not meet. Okay, so if let's say that we have a bunch of different classes. Fighter, let's say a novice, warrior, mage, cleric, priest, and some other ones. Anytime this is not equal to this, even if it's in the list eventually. So what we need to say then is so we need to add a break here. what we need to do here is say, so this will be an else if now. What we need to do here is go if I2 is so if we're at the last one on the thing and it hasn't matched yet, we need to do one of these. Hopefully this works the way that I think. Chances are it's not going to, but we'll see. So what I'm hoping is that when we go over there to, so we're going to go over here, do it once, so we have novice level, whatever. Since we don't have our warrior class yet, what I'm hoping is that we'll see the warriors show up in the list. Of course, there's a typo. I am the king of typos. Alright. Try this again. Take 2. Actually, more like take 20,000 by now. Ah, crap. Clicked on myself twice. Alright, there we go. Cool, it is showing, but we have to, it's not putting it over. Oh. So, first one's meeting. So I guess we need to put this here too. Doesn't make too much sense. But that it's not being shoved over. There we go, yeah. That's what we had to do. Okay, good. So we don't have a warrior class at all, but it's showing from the requirements list now. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So if I could go to the Sword Singer, same thing. Oh well, Sword Singer is now in red. Got to do the reset font text. Draw Rex. Well, we just do that up here and we call that this dot reset fonts or text color, I think. So once we verify I fixed that one bug, we'll talk about how this is actually set up in the database. Good. Okay, it's not happening now. Good. Alright, so let's talk about how this is set up in the database. It's pretty simple and pretty, I think, probably pretty powerful. Though, I mean, there's a limit on the number of classes using what I'm using there. I'd have to change the way that we're displaying the items on that that screen, that window on the bottom that has the requirements. I'd have to turn it into a well, it is a window selectable, but I'd have to change the way that the items are being displayed. Instead of using what I'm using now, I'd have to go through a different function, I think, to create them. Instead of going through refresh. Similar to how I'm doing with the class list window. I'd have to do like a max items and all kinds of stuff like this to make them display the way they would need to have that ability to scroll down through the list and have them going up and down the window. So I mean, there's obviously things you can do to correct that, which would be like changing the Y, changing this to a lower setting to make the rows closer together, or dropping this down to make the. But to be honest, if you drop this down, you'd have to drop down the font size again because well, it depends on the class names, but martial artist, which is the longest class name I have, barely fits with my X being 202. Anyway, so we're talking about the classes here. So it's pretty simple. So, and if you remember before, how we had this was using. Let's see if I have one that I haven't fixed yet. I guess I don't. Was using these tags here with the class name colon and the what you call it, the level. What I found out was that in order to access the class information vis-a-vis the class name from the data classes object array thing, whatever you call it, you actually have to use an ID. So it has to be an int. So I had to change the first parameter of the requirements note tag to be the class ID in the database here. So, and that's just all it takes to set this up. You just put this in, and the code does the rest. So it's very easy to set up. For example, I'll just do this one. Requirements. So 110. Now if I go into the game and I choose fighter, it's not going to crash me into oblivion. It'll actually display the required levels, aka novice level 10. So now if I go back and choose brawler, we get a huge crash because name is not defined because we're trying to pull the name of the class using the actual class name instead of the ID, which doesn't work. So I have to go through and do that for all the classes. Which is annoying, but... so let's move on to the next thing, which is to get the code to... So actually, all we have to really do, I guess, is we just have to pull this code. Literally all this code. And put it down here, which we've already kind of done, sort of. Did I create a file? I'll have to recreate all that stuff down here so we can do that. But what did I do the whole thing? Well, yeah. Well, I did everything up to the point where we need to. And I think that this clear is causing problems with the refresh, so we'll comment that out. So we can just get rid of everything below the bool there. Up to this point. Alright. So now we can strip out some of this stuff. We don't need any of this. We don't need this. Don't need that. Don't need that. Everything else we do need. We don't need this or this. Now we need to create these. I think selected class is already part of this, but we need to do the selected the act classes. Window cc command set act classes equals function passing through actor classes. this dot underscore act classes equals actor classes. And selected class is already being set. Now, what else do we need to do? We need to set this as undefined. So that, and then we need to do the call to it from up here in the scene. So where do we do the other call? In the right, this one. So basically we're just going to take this and exchange it out with com. We'll leave that part like it is. That'll fill that out as well. Now, the question is, how do we duplicate things here? So obviously this is pretty simple. True and then false. And in this case, we don't want to break. Now, if we find it, we want to break. But we also want to loop through everything to make sure that if there is a condition that we're not meeting, we're not allowing us to change. So, yeah, we need this up here as well. Okay, rid of that. Save it and see what happens. See how many problems we find this time. Alright, so I'm just going to do the novice first. Just go warrior. So, novice level 10, that's not right. So novice is up here. Why are we not matching? Maybe there's a... no errors or anything. Alright, back into the code. So it was working, and then we changed nothing, and now it's not working. That's pretty par for the course, really. Didn't change anything really to it anyway. So 17. Please don't be text. Oh, that's text, actually. Well, they're both text. Interesting. They should match. Do this code. Somehow I managed to really frack it up. Without even changing any of that code. So this is too long, like this too. Go through the first time. Go through the second time. So let's do this the really weird way. It's probably better. It's probably some sort of string comparison we can do. Then I'm going to take this, copy it from here, and paste it over to where I need to actually put it, so that it works. So they're both zeros. 9, 1, 2. Iterators are 0. Our first key and actor keys, well, actor or class keys, is 0. What's the length of